Welcome back here to DreamHack Summer Europe. We are on the way to a potential upset as Endpoint has taken map 1, but now we are moving on to the secondary map, which is of course Dust2, which is of course a map where Big Clan, they have an incredibly strong T side. They also have the stat line that says if they get the first kill in the round, they have an 80% chance of winning that round. That's insane. So Endpoint will have their work cut out for him, but no one believes in them more than my man Tom is.
I am a little bit over patriotic. We were talking about in the break how both me and Blair believe that Endpoint are going to be looking to win the next major. So obviously not the current one that's ongoing because they haven't managed to qualify. But yeah, both myself and Blair agree that it is going to be happening. So obviously that means that they're going to take this match as well. It is that old classic rivalry. We're going back to 1966 where the English managed to beat the Germans and get themselves the World Cup. They're going to do it again. It is coming home.
But then again,
DreamHack, you might as well just end the tournament today. We already know that Endpoint.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tom, but back in those days, Germany did not have Centaurus, so I'm gonna cancel that and just say that Big are gonna take this map and they're gonna take the third one as well. But we are now live on Dust2. Robin in pit. The resident Swede has taken out a chunk of Big Clan, more specifically Quito.
Yeah, this is basically if England had Zlatan. Like, that's what we're looking at the moment, because we got Robin in there as well. We've adopted him into the ranks of being a Brit. It is going to be a fast play through those. There's still 2 players on this B side. It's a dicey battle. I don't know how Thomas is still alive, and in fact, Crucial is doing a great job as he gets 3 kills. Plant is going to be fake sis and knows he needs to take a fight, and well, he's going to win it at that. The double fake even. Doesn't know how to plant the bomb, it seems. Estoril will eventually put him down. And it's another pistol round. Something mentioned on the desk. They didn't manage a pistol round in the last map. Well, it's not the best start in them here.
Tough times. And it is, of course, always a big factor when you take those pistol rounds into consideration. It's usually when you play a best of 1 and you lose both pistols, almost every Counter-Strike player will be like, oh, well, it was a rough game because we lost both pistols. We can't really be expected to win if we don't get those. But that's not as true, but still it is a big factor coming in now. And once again, we do see the second round buy from Big Clan. It's going to be Sisson with the Scout. It's going to be a couple of deagles, some head armors as well. And that's why we want to see this buy.
Yeah, I was about to say that there should be a golden rule when playing big on this map, which is don't peek mid, because like it's just not a good idea. Sisson is so clinical with the Scout. I feel like Vertigo is one of those maps where we do see the AWP played, but it's not necessarily as impactful, anywhere near as impactful as it will be on Dust2. So
Dust2
I am a bit worried for them here.
Yeah, Dust2 and Mirage Sisson's playground. So it's just like, if you face off against him and Big Clan on those maps, you have to be careful. Doesn't even matter what kind of team you are. Even if you're number 1 or in the top 3, you still have to watch out. Crucial. Standing in wait. Nice flashbang timing there from Big, and Crucial will get a dink down to 3 HP, and Tapson will finish off the job. Now was Sisson's Scout taking him low, and now Thomas has to make the impossible happen.
He should get the first one for free. Sisson, you have to bear in mind, doesn't have any Kevlar, but it may not matter to him. He's already found the first shot, and they've juggled that rifle into a man's hands that you really don't want having a rifle. It's going to be Zontares. Picks off the first. The Scout is there for the second. And, well, the Turk will finish it off as well. It is going to be 1-1, and, well, my victory speech might be a little bit short-lived here, as already they've broken back.
Yeah, that's the danger of Big Clan in this scenario. When they get a Scout, when they get the opening frag, when they get going, and as you mentioned, when they get Centaurus on a rifle, they become very dangerous. Of course, Sisson saving the Scout, making sure the economy keeps growing on the T side. We're now looking like they want to do a B split here.
This is, of course, everything that Endpoint have, so we can see if they can make this work. We had a lot of pistol victories on Vertigo, but I do feel like there's a lot more of an opportunity on Vertigo for those pistols to be victorious, especially with how split the defense is on this map. It's going to be relatively tough for Mighty Mac. alongside Surreal to do anything, but actually Mighty Max does work as good bait, and Surreal, he's doing well with the pistol so far. He shouldn't get anything more, and thankfully for Big, Tamsin is going to clear out the last man on the site, but that's time bought. That's a lot of time bought. Nice shot from Stearson to at least keep the man advantage going, but he's now tagged desperately low. However, getting back into this B site, even with the door change, is not the easiest thing to do.
Thomas will run away with the M4 and head armor, the same with Robin, just with a deagle in hand instead. So not too bad of a round for Endpoint, but obviously they wanted more from this. 3 kills from Big Clan will ensure the win. And 2-1, as I mentioned before, like Big Clan on this T side, they are very, very good. 57.96% of their rounds won on the T side of this map. Very clinical, especially when they get the entry into a bomb site, or if they get the opening kill on the beginning of the round from Stearson. They are on their way to victory pretty fast.
I'm not able to quite get that AWP into play. I do think that may also just be more of a tactical decision in a round where you know that your opponents don't really have too much. You don't really want to risk an AWP falling into enemy hands. A scout, on the other hand, it's not as anywhere near a bigger deal.
Yeah, and with Stearson on the attacking end of that scout, then it doesn't really matter if it's AWP or not.
This round again, we're going to see more of a gamble actually into middle from the CT side, and Thomas has the only rifle. He's not in a bad spot if they do try and push through long. The problem is with the amount of utility that's available to Big, he's not really going to be given much vision whatsoever. However, it does look like they're going to try and boost over the top. And well, a lot of this comes down to where they actually push. Now, he'll be able to catch anybody heading up the ramp, but I imagine that Big are going to be thinking about this sort of play.
This is an interesting timing play because they're waiting and then a secondary smoke drops. Is there one for the left side? Surely there has to be. Oh no, oh no, there's a big gap. There's a big gap and Surreal will take care of that first one. M4 still in the vicinity. Surreal on the boost will get another one. Thomas goes down and Surreal continues the reign of terror. But Robin now with a Desert Eagle. Well, actually he has Mighty Max in the back. So 2v2. Bomb will go down.
Yeah, and he has head armor and everything with that rifle as well.
Yeah.
This really isn't out of the realms of possibility. It would be a huge round. Remember, this was one rifle alongside some just pistols, not even Kevlar on the majority of players. So this would be a pretty tough one for Big to lose. Again, though, there's no kit. The time is ticking. The pit position is one that's very difficult to clear, especially with, well, almost a sniper at the end when it's on Taras with that gun in hand. And unfortunately, the USP isn't quite going to do enough. Still a great round from Endpoint in the grand scale of things. Able to take down 3 members, reduce the amount of money that's there for Big. Although, whenever you have a force buy victory in the second round and you steal some weaponry away, you're going to have pretty good economy going forward.
No op, though, for Endpoint to battle with Stearson. So Crucial not going to have the best of chances in that position. And limited utility on 2-3 of the players right now on the CT side. Santaro's fully blind, but still goes out. Should catch Thomas, but only down to 12 HP, and Santaros was committed to that long push. Oh, nice flashbang timing, but what? Okay, Keto.
So unlucky.
Fully flashed. And Robin misses his shots. Surreal taken out as well, and good shot from Thomas, but 12 HP, 1v1. Tabson has a nade and a Molotov as well, so that could be the fate sealed. If he just hits one of those, he's just going to wait in this corner. I think there's very low chance that Thomas is going to pre-fire this. He's checking it now. He's making sure. Tabson wins that. 12 HP to spare. And then the difference in the end was the HP. If they had 100 both, Thomas would have won that.
Although Tabson did hit the headshot.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe if they were both low HP, I'll give you that one.
You never know, Tom. That was what I meant. English is hard language, okay?
That's the only one I speak, so I can't really... I am an ignorant Englishman. Ooh, that's more difficult. I can't even say it.
You're my favorite ignorant Englishman, so that's fine.
Is that just
fine.
because you don't consider the other ones to be ignorant?
Yeah, all the other ones are
okay.
okay.
That's it's not that much of a compliment then, is it?
No, that's how all my compliments are, backhanded.
All right.
Surreal, though, has a chance of doing something in this round with a scout. Let's see if he can match up against Pearson and his abilities with that weapon. Will be a tough chance, but still, he's taking it. Smoke on the corner of CT. It's going to be Robin, I think, in the CT position, and then Mighty Max in the B spot. This is cheeky now. Thomas, not a normal position, this one. And now with Surreal baiting, he should get a chance of a kill, and he will. Surreal continuing to bait this, and Thomas will actually get another angle, but he's pushing it too aggressively, in my opinion. Citizen will get the best of him. And Tabson now also eliminated. CT smoke goes down. This is going to be a B plant. Bomb already rotating. Keto just has to hold this angle, and then the round should be over with 2 players on the B bomb side with weaponry. Maybe switch over the AWP to Tabson with low HP, but let's just wait and see.
Yeah, he did use it for a time as a bit of a weird primary AWP moment. Marquito, this angle's so difficult to clear anyway, and I thought for a second he hit that. No, thankfully it's Tabson from a little bit further away. But yeah, we see that same strong start. The question is Endpoint going to have the same, well, I guess the balls to just bring this back like Big did in the first map and almost even things up? Because that's the real worry for me. I think this is a map more so where momentum is so critical for either side, and Big are one of those teams that are just so good with rolling with it.
Tissing having a tough start, but as we know, this guy can come back at any point in the game, and it has one of those roles where he's not expected to get that many frags, but we know that he can do better, so let's just hold out for that. Centaurus goes down a 1-for-1 trade. Surreal is still on the bomb side here, but we'll get tricked by Tabson rotating into his flank. And Robin now just giving this one up. 2 players long, cannot retake. Citizen still in middle with the AWP. They're going to save these weapons here. The classic plant B, 4+ players alive. There's just no way. You're just going to have to save your guns.
Yeah, this is brutal to watch as well. Like it's been fairly clinical from Big on their entries. The other thing as well is I feel like Surreal might feel a little bit hard done by there because he unscopes as they walk into tunnels.
Yeah.
So he looks away at the wrong moment. Max dies for it, and sure he gets the trade, but I think after that point we knew that it was either going to be a one and done or, as it was, absolutely nothing as Tabson gets the entry once again. So 6-1 on the T side. Big looking formidable so far on their map choice. And as I sort of mentioned, like, this is one of the stronger maps for Endpoint. Mirage is one where I would sit in more of a middle ground. Like that's, I think Blair and myself as well were thinking that Big might even pick Mirage because it was a bit more of a weaker map for Endpoint. So I do worry that if this is just domination, I think the momentum will just be enough for Big to just trounce them in the next map as well. So I at least want to see something from Endpoint here. Now, they have had an upset or 2 along the way. They did manage to beat Heroic on Mirage not too long ago. We can see. Maybe they'll be still able to do it on Dust2. Crucial with an important first frag. But look at the switch up, the change almost instantly. They realize there's 3 players over into long. Where do we go? Straight into mid. All 4 remaining men. And they don't even realize that they've lost this much control. There are some serious holes within the defense at the moment. And, wow, Max, Crucial, they're trying to hold on. We're going to see the pick actually come out from Robin on the rotation. But now they're just going to go back towards the A side. Mighty Max has actually found a decent timing, though. Claiming a little bit more into mid. He's going to try and make a play through the smoke, but Citizen is ready and waiting. The flashbang's decent, and, well, that looked almost on point, but I guess maybe moving a little bit too much.
This looks like it's planted for long as well, so there's going to be very little chance. Maybe the smoke on Surreal will be able to make the play happen. Let's wait and see. Citizen here, 3K. The bomb is planted on the box, maybe? Let's wait and see. Yeah. This is going to be tough. Endpoint.
They do have an incendiary. I don't know if they're even going to be able to get it in. And actually, there's
he can defuse from behind. He can defuse from behind. That's fine.
Yeah, he can. I even think they could have just naded into the pit, maybe not knowing how low it is. But Yeah, I think that plant's not quite gone the way they were hoping for, as they sneakily defuse it.
Yeah, you can see Sisson holding the angle that if the CT player was just to jump onto the box, then he would have had the frag through the smoke. But yeah, Endpoint just canceling that one out and getting a second round on the board, despite of Big starting things out very nicely with the map control. But Sisson steps back. Mighty Max done. Keto pushing out long now.
Oh, this is definitely hurting me every time that happens. Oh, Max is gone without even a chance. He did so well in the last round as well. That is painful to see. And just look at what it's done to the defense of this Endpoint side. We talk about Dust2 as a map of gambles. You have to take risks, because we saw the 3-man long stack in the previous round and the complete change in pace. The second this kill goes in, it's an abandonment of long. They can't hold it anymore. They can't keep control of that portion of the map because it leaves too much space elsewhere. And because of that, well, Big are just going to take it for free.
It's almost as if it was free real estate. At the CT side now. Let's wait and see. Smoke down towards CT and a fake towards the B side, holding 2 players on that B side and 1 in rotation. I'll get long for free. Blake at the side as well. It's going to be the rotation of Robin and, of course, Crucial on short. They still have utilities, so it's definitely still possible.
Not going to be able to do too much in terms of denying the plant. Robin trying to be a bit spicy, and actually he's found one with a nade. Gets a kill while jumping up. They're even going to be a little bit more clinical by boosting. This retake's going phenomenally well. Half of it done before the bomb was even planted. And Searson will fall as well. Perfect from Endpoint. A 4v4, 4v0. That's as good as it gets.
Robin with another 3K. Really spicing up this matchup. And as he was doing very well on that first map also. As a player who, of course, been around for a while in this kind of like T2, T3 tier of Counter-Strike, has been playing with UK teams for a while. Not really had any luck finding himself on one of the Swedish teams.
Why would he want to?
Well, let's be real.
Yeah, let's be real. They can't quite live up to the might of the UK.
Take away all the history of Fnatic and Swedish dominance and nip, and yeah, just forget about that. Surely you want to be on a UK team instead.
Hey, the Scream wants to be on a UK team, just not in this game.
It's real now. Together with Robin, will do some damage early on, but Tapson with the entry, AK-47 to the dome. Mighty Max on the side now. Can he make this happen? No, Searson walking out through the smoke. Instant just taps him in the head. Was scoped in as well, so this was planned. Switch around on the AWP.
I love this boost.
It was spotted out, but I don't think Crucial he saw it. And now Robin and Thomas, they have to decide, do we want to stay or do we want to go?
Well, I think Thomas has just got to make the decision to save at this point. Unfortunately, their money is not in a bad spot, but they need to make sure they have the extra weaponry going into the next round. And maybe Thomas can take down Tizian, who has just got himself onto the board.
That's nice to see.
I think it's a 7th round now for Big, and that's the thing though. Like Searson, I don't think stuff like that should be allowed. It's not fair. It's not fair to the opponent.
Walking in the smoke. Let's see. Oh well, there was a gap left side. That's fair enough.
It's still a dirty shot.
Yeah, but that's like when you've seen a lot of Searson clips, that just becomes normal. That just becomes a standard. No damage to the wall.
I feel like you're the like king on the throne, and like there's like a jester that comes up to entertain, and you're like, away with him. It's not up to my standard. Try harder next time.
Well, I have been seeing a lot of Searson though in the DreamHack Master Circuit in the last couple of months before the break, so I'm getting pretty used to him being sick with stuff. I'm happy with it though. It's nice that someone finally really found the way to utilize that weapon.
aim for the head. It turns out that was the
trick all along. Now we do have...
He's already tagged very low. 11 HP. And he's the only defender of long. In fact, up until moments ago, he was the only defender of A. Has Tizian spotted him? Well, I don't think it's going to matter. Getting pushed back. That flashbang has gone completely wrong. Molotov thrown into the angle. And, well, eventually, Thomas is tanked.
Also, very interesting double peek from Crucial with the MP9, Crucial with the open, Robin with the MP9.
I think a lot of that came down to committing to try and help out Thomas, but once he died, it just looks really weird with them two just standing out in the open, just trying to take the battle. Whereas if you have the crossfire and pit, it's not a bad position to be trying to fight for, but unfortunately, just too little too late. Now it comes down to, again, just holding on to some weaponry. Their money has been, again, sent from rags, or riches to rags, even.
And on the other side of things, big no worries, economy-wise at all. Bomb will explode, ensuring Big the 8th round of this map. And a guaranteed lead going into the second half.
Yeah, this is very worrying, especially because, like, even when you talk about how effective AWPers can be on the T side of this map, we still talk about a lot of AWPers being dominant on the A side and, like, taking aggressive faces into middle. So with Searson popping off this much, unless something drastic changes, there's no way that this map goes back in the other direction. Like, I want to believe as much as possible, but this is a masterclass. It's so much so that we haven't even really touched upon how well Tabson's been playing. And that's basically the 1-2 punch of this team. Like, if those two players are on, it's hard. If you then get Ketos, Antares, Tizzy, and any of them stepping up with him, it's over. So the fact that these two players are able to just walk all over this Endpoint team at the moment is terrifying. And, well, as I said, they haven't even really had to add too many more of the players into the mix.
Wow, Keto losing a lot of HP there, but probably won't have any real importance in the round as the bomb goes down in a matter of seconds. They were very eager to push in there. And surely now Mighty Max and Surreal will be saving these two rifles and the utility and armor they have behind it, allowing the pistol players to come in and see if they can get an exit frag or some kind of economical damage, but it's going to be the buy next round for Endpoint. Actually, they're just going to leave everyone. Okay.
I guess it's extra Kevlar.
Yeah,
for
it makes sense.
He might as well go for something here because, well, maybe it's just my personal preference, but if he is going to be buying an AWP, I'm not the biggest fan of a Deagle as a secondary. Like, it seems like an almost panic. Sure, it can work, I guess, but it's not really anything to write home about.
You know, Tom, back in a lot of years ago, back when Source was played, that combination was deadly, but Source then was also the owner of an incredibly overpowered Deagle, so we're not really going to count that in.
I thought a lot of people didn't even count Source as a game. I thought it got discounted by a lot of people.
Well, I would say maybe Dupree, Divide, Shocks, Kenny S, some of those guys would maybe disagree with that. Definitely 1.6 was the more individually skilled game. I can agree with you on that for sure. Old grumpy Source player.
Okay, here we go.
There we go. Yeah, that's nice. And he actually just rotates away, so very nicely done. Gets the opening frag. Is able to still hold this angle, and he's too far away to get Molotoved off, so nicely combined with his teammate, and Crucial just continues. He's just holding this on all by his own.
Okay, this has come out of absolutely nowhere.
Will he get the ace?
That's the question. Can he get the style points?
Come on, let's go.
Come on. Standing.
Oh, don't deny him the ace, sis. Come on.
Or do deny him the ace and get one of your own. That would be the real style points from Searson, looking to try and get his own ace, but a little bit further to go. Crucial wants this so bad. He's like, come on, one of them, and he's going to get no-scoped out of the round. Is there anything more here for Sears? And it's not. Thomas will eventually finish off what Crucial started. Fantastic round for the AWPA. And those are the sort of things that not only give them more of a footing in this match, but also might light the fires under Endpoint, because so far this has been a bleak affair. Like, I think it's fairly easy to spot for anybody at home that they are getting decimated. Like, you have 2 players on 16 and 12 kills apiece on the other side of things, and well, some of the others, like Thomas, who was one of the top fraggers in the last match, currently sat down on 5. So even just on a numbers game, this isn't going well. However,
again, Tom,
a round like that can build you back up.
Yeah, and also, if you get the last 2 rounds in this half, like 6-9 on CT side Dust2, that's not too bad. It's definitely not a good scenario, but it's still doable. For most teams, the T side is the strongest one here, so Endpoint, they're not down and out just yet, but let's see if Thomas, he can get maybe a double here. If he can get a double, this is still alive this round. And he gets the double. Nothing more, though. Robin with the free frag on short. Rotation in from Surreal, hits a nice flick. Very quick. And now Tapson 1v3. So this is now becoming slowly but surely possible. Tapson double smokes himself. Will he hold the smoke or go for the plant? Let's see. Does this fake someone out? Can he get an opening? Surreal is just holding the angle. Patiently. 5 rounds now for Endpoint.
Yeah, 9-6 on Dust2 really isn't that bad either, especially going on to the T side. Like, you sort of brought up the statistic earlier that Big do normally win the majority of their rounds on the T side.
Oh, yeah.
I do think that a lot of the time that stat is skewed, because obviously if they start on the T side and then just smash everyone, it doesn't really take that into account. But at the same time, I am thinking that there's more of an opportunity. Gross, though. 4 kills just a couple of rounds ago, and, well, gone within the first 20 seconds.
Titian will get the second frag of the round for his team. Robin now under pressure. Taken away from the mid. Surreal has to make a big play here. He knows the smokes are coming from the back, so he knows he has to focus on short. Robin now comes into duel. Flashbang on the wall, and that's nicely done by Robin. Almost a 3-piece. Mighty Max 1v2.
Had a quiet game, but he definitely can win some of these situations where there's a potential push from short. And in fact, that was actually a fake plant. So there's a real opportunity now for Max to get right back into this site. I don't think they'll realize him being this close, although Tapson is aware of the angle still. The duel will be won, and he has the incendiary. He might just try and bait Zontaris through the Molotov. He has a smoke of his own. He's going to be sticking this defusal, but actually just peeks into the Molotov. A 10-5 half for Big. A fantastic turnaround after the first map. We'll be back after a short break to see if Endpoint can make a turnaround.
Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down, down. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Fly in the visual, high in the spiritual. Life can get rid of you. This what I'm gonna do. Kick off my shoes, get in the mood, get on down, get in the groove. I feel alive, I can't hide it. Look in my eyes, I feel inspired. I got the Midas touch, and I'm the brightest. I'm gonna try my luck. Are you ready to roll? I'm getting on they last, I'm steady on go. I'm all up in the back, I'm heavy a pro. I take them all to class, I pin on the show. I do it with pizzazz, I polish my own crown. They know I'm in my bag, I body them on down. I'm who they can't pass, I handle my all frowns. They cameras all flash like this is my song now. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down, down. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Watch me do my thing. I get out of control, I take off like a plane. I groove, check the moves, I rock out with a bang. I do just what I do at the top of my game. Top of my game, lots spit to shame. Come deal with the crew, I stop them in a lane. Who's worried about who? I drop them with a flame. They coming for round two, like watch me entertain, yeah. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down, down. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Bust another move, hello, oh. Bust another move, down. Get on down, down. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my other move. Get on down, bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down, down. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose.
Welcome back to Dust2, where the last time Big played this map, they also won a 10-5 half in the first half, and then they ended up beating Vitality back then, 16-10 scoreline. Let's see if they can repeat that, or if Endpoint will make it happen the other way around. It's going to be the pistol round in the second half.
Already, Hampson in a strong position, nade dropped right onto the head of Surreal, but it is going to be a trade back, at least in the initial stages, as Searson actually finding one through the smoke. Nice shot from Thomas, in fact. It's hard to even see that kill come through, but he connects it nonetheless and gives them the man advantage. Bomb is going to be planted at least in a relatively open position. Searson trying to sneak his way through. Now, Tizian does still have the kit, so they have plenty of time to play with. Not so much of a worry for Big just yet, but it's about getting those frags, and Mighty Max steps up with one, in fact the second, but Tizian gets two back in a matter of seconds. Both players tapped away. It's not quite going to work out for them though, and Endpoint, well, they are completing the full quad.
Yeah.
Every single pistol round going their way.
To be honest, like, if you're an underdog in a matchup, that's like one of the first things on your to-do list to like kind of like check off. If we are to make this upset, what do we need? Okay, we need 4 pistols. That's definitely something we need to do if we can win this 2-0. So they've gotten that now. Only 4 rounds between them and Big. It is still a very, very tough climb for Endpoint, but it is not impossible.
Yeah, especially if they can get the momentum going on the T side. I think there's opportunities for them.
And that's one of the things with Dust2, in my opinion, especially on the T side. Like, you can just get so much going. Just on running, like, specific plays. Just getting that speed up.
Well, I guess it's probably the only map, or one of the only maps, where you really play off spawns. Like, I guess you do it a bit on Mirage, but, like, if you're feeling it, if you've got your aim on point, and you get a spawn for long, the chances are you're going long.
Just
the same if you get a chance to rush B. Exactly. There's not many maps where that is like one of the pinnacle factors of the map. So it's understandable why momentum and confidence can really be a big thing when it comes down to this map. Looking like they're doing a much better job this time in the NT Eco, but there's still a few low players. Through the smoke goes Crucial. It's Max to get the kill. And eventually they combine, leaving just Pearson alone. Now, I wouldn't face this man. There you go. That is the reason why I wouldn't face this man, because he's going to headshot you with a scout. But he's tagged low enough. No one else should face, because they are all within one shot, even to the chest of this scout. And he's been having an insane game.
Once again, the anti-eco on Dust2, when you win the pistol on the T side, just go for the B split. Get the 2 smokes down, get the flash into CT spawn, make sure no one pushes through the smoke. 3 guys towards mid, 2 guys towards tunnels, make the timing happen. The mid guys pushes first. It's bread and butter pretty much for most teams to kind of throw this round in, and that's why you saw they kind of being ready for it with 3 players posted on the side and 1 in quick rotation towards CT. But there's not really much you can do when the terrorists just come like running in guns blazing.
That'd be something a little bit extra for Big in this round in the form of a scout. No extra pistol saved, unfortunately. But if they really wanted to, they could invest a little bit more cash just to try and do some extra damage in this round. But the only thing that worries me for Big's side of things is I'm still looking at this so far as a bit of a two-man show. Like, you do have Searson playing insane. Tabson's been performing well, but some of the other players on the squad have been a little bit quieter. And well, there he is again. How has Sontar's just got a kill with a P2K? I'll never know.
Just Sontar's things.
They've got the bomb. Risk. This is an unwinnable round. How are they coming close to winning it?
Well, they start with 2 frags, and then they have AKs against pistols and scouts, so it's not impossible, and with Searson getting downed as well, it's gonna happen, but still a very nice round from especially Sontar's just getting the ability to just come in with the P2K. Searson starting things off. Let's see, do we get Sontar's frag? There we go, just 2-piece.
Thick.
Straight to the dome. You almost get flashbacks to other Sontar's clips with the P2K, which we have seen before, him being very deadly with.
Oh, even still. It means that money-wise, there's not been too much made.
Yeah, double up though, Tom. Searson and Keto. They're very early on. This is something that they usually adapt a few rounds in, but not this early. So let's see what Big have in store here. They definitely want to challenge Crucial. And they feel like both Searson and Keto are up to the task of doing that.
I do wonder if this comes down to the last map a little bit. Like they had some issues on their CT side, and one of the fixes was to just throw in this double AWP and almost decimate Endpoint towards the end of the half. So it could just be something that they're looking at going, okay, well, if it worked in the last map, this map pretty much plays into it a little bit more. Let's just get it up early, have the utility on the remainder of the players. The thing is that they have left mid relatively open. There's a lot of space available, even with this position. That's such a sick shot. An angle that I wouldn't say you check the majority of the times you peek in towards mid. But to get that open is going to make things tough. However, will they expect the secondary AWP? Maybe not. I don't know if he would have won that duel anyway, but even still, that's maybe going to put some doubt into the minds of Endpoint whether or not they should go in that direction this round.
And how are they going to approach this? Because yes, the smoke will come out to mid, but they're not going to go for it. This is kind of the idea. If you have a suspicion that there are 2 players on the B side, one of them is an AWP, it usually is almost easy to just smoke up and just go for the A execute, get the Molotov down. It's going to be onto this guy. We're watching him from above now. Searson, the star, he's mollied out. He's in the fire and flames, dancing around. Low HP, will get shot out by Thomas. Completely flashed, and Tizian rotating down long. Will he be able to hold this? This is a very, very open angle. That's just the round. Endpoint going to be on 9 now, Tom.
Yeah, it's looking good for them. Like the early stages of the round were a little bit more dicey, but they managed to shut down Searson relatively easy just by using their utility well. The other thing as well that it is a good sign, but also worries me a little bit is in their afterplant positions, they are very aggressive. Like you see Robin happy to take fights into CT. They're all peeking into long. Now, a lot of the time they're doing it together, but you do have to question, okay, say one of those duels goes wrong.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that round slips away? Yes, probably.
Yeah. I also think that's kind of like what it has to come down to mentality-wise when you're facing a team that is on paper better than you. You have to kind of like get into the mindset that you're going to play aggressive, that you can take the duels, and that will, for most teams, make them play slightly more aggressive than they probably should have, and they probably also will in facing teams around their same position on the rankings. But in this situation, it works out. But I can definitely see other scenarios where that would have been a problem. Money-wise, also a problem for Big right now. Pistols and, of course, the AWP on Keto. Surreal here towards lower dark. Eating some nades, but not too much damage.
Yeah, they've tried those nades a few times now. There was another anti-eco just moments ago where they tried a similar set of nades that didn't work. And I think now Endpoint are relatively aware that that's going to be something attempted a few times. The AWP actually this time would be holding into long. So normally we've seen it on Keto on the B site, or at least like holding into mid. But they've tried to adapt at least a little bit in this round, maybe to set him up slightly better. By the looks of it, his teammates are going to go into support to allow for a slight rotation away. Of course, there's plenty of time on the clock. And in fact, we have seen middle now gained by Surreal. This is where things become incredibly tough for the remaining defenders, because getting back through that smoke is going to be nigh on impossible if they do push into mid. The only thing that worries me is they are going straight into Zontares. They need to check this angle, but the flashbang is spot on. Nice clear. Both players down from Thomas. And as said, he was having a very quiet game. We were seeing with him only on 5 kills. I think in like maybe 10 deaths. I don't remember exactly, but he's now right back up to like 13 and 12 or something like that. Looking a lot better on the T side. It's where we need to see the best from him.
They're going to say.
I imagine at this point, yeah, just.
Okay.
Oh.
Nice shot from Titian, but eventually the round will end, and it's going to be a 10-10 with Endpoint grinding it back now. So this one's on 21-11, so definitely not an individual problem there from the star player Big. But this is still early in the season, of course. This is still the first real big tournament coming in, so a team like Big will probably have, especially with the way that they structured the calendar at the end of the season before the break, they would have had to have a long off period. So it's definitely going to be a long road for them to get back into the shape that they were when they won the DreamHack Masters just before the break.
Yeah, I guess, and also talking about how they did in the second iteration of the RMR event. Like they had a back-to-back couple of big performances, but oh, for God's sake, I didn't even mean it that time. But yeah, it's one of those things where I think there's definitely going to be a little bit of rust, and I think they even sort of spoke about it, set it up a little bit in the interview. But it is a bit of a scary prospect for them, because going into the stage that we saw the desk sort of talk about how, although you can't really underestimate Endpoint, if you're going through all of the teams on the roster in terms of, say, success or achievements, like even though, for example, Forza are a team that aren't performing fantastically well at the moment, in the past, they have had big results at big tournaments. So Endpoint are the one sort of outlier where we have to say they have something to prove. This would be a big statement. This would be a huge statement for them to come in and win this match. But you'd also look at it and go, are Big playing their best? No.
Yeah, it's always like, there's always a startup period when you start your season. It doesn't even matter what game you play, if it's basketball or football, even cycling. There's still like, you have to set out your peak performance point, and this is definitely not it for Big. And that's not possible even to start with a great level, but they're going to build, surely. But this game is not over yet. They still have a chance of taking it to third map, but it is tied up 10-10 after a great start from Big Clan, so you kind of get a little bit worried here.
And again, as mentioned, on the T side, we were talking about how well Searson and Tamsin were playing. Now we need to see the rest of the squad hold, as it's not as easy to carry a team through a CT side. Thomas, he's going to get the entry once again, but Tizian is there to trade things back. It seems like he's got a little bit stuck in the mud, but the rotation of what is that from Zontares? Maybe spotting someone slightly underneath the gap in the smoke. It's left onto Crucial, and he's going to get jumping shot from Keto. Back in the lead for Big as they get their 11th. But of course, there is going to be a purchase back on the other side.
Yeah, that's exactly the round they need Big right now. They need to get some of these individual small, like, you wouldn't even say lucky, but like big plays coming out, get the hype going. It's been a dull couple of rounds for them, but now they get back to it. Economy is still very fine for the CTs. The T side also has money to spare. This is going to be an important one, because if Big takes this 12-10 lead, the T side will have to throw out around a couple of weapons, maybe get one player on a Galil to get full utility. So this one is going to be interesting. I think we have a technical pause right now, but it's going to be fine. Going to get this match underway very quickly to get us back into the fray. So Tom, how have you been enjoying the off time so far? How are things in the UK?
I'll be honest. I've still been commentating, just not Counter-Strike.
just the worst game, of course.
I'm not, of course, while on this stream, of course. But I'm not fickle at all. I will not play to the fans. But yeah, while I'm on this stream, this is definitely. To be fair, this is a funny game. But if anybody who wants to hire me for Valorant is listening, I do like that game as well. Not fickle at all. But yeah, I'm not the best when it comes to breaks. But I took off my birthday, ate a load of cake. That was fun. Nice. Ate a load of other rubbish as well. Like that's probably the unhealthiest I've been in months, which was nice. Weather's been decent in Ukraine, but being someone who lives in my room, I didn't really go outside. I just played a hell of a lot of video games, and I've been enjoying it. And of course, the second I basically come back to work, CS decides to make an update with a load of skins. So they've memed me a little bit there, but I'm sure I'm going to be ending up spending a silly amount of money on something within that case. Maybe the Vogue. Have you seen the Vogue Glock?
Yeah, I have. The
beautiful.
AK is the one that I'm gonna go for, I think.
I don't know. I like the skin, but I feel like there's a lot. Like for example, the Empress. I feel like is almost too similar. Whereas the Vogue is like, okay, that's standout. That's cool. And I do like to strike a pose, as you know. So.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, of course, waiting to get back into the server here. Just show a little bit of the virtual playground we of course have available to us. So shout out to everyone in Twitch chat bearing with us here. Of course.
Have you been in Denmark?
Yeah, it's been crazy because the weather has been nice. So it's not really too bad. But we are of course still waiting here, and I have been also waiting for a little bit over a month now for CS to get back. Very anxious.
Yeah, this thing is always weird. It's like, I think a lot of the time when you're working nonstop, you're like, oh, I'd love a day off. And then the second you get a day off, you're like, I want it back. I want to work again. But either way, that's enough of us waffling. Of course, apologies. A small tech issue.
Yeah, now that we have pressed the button to start the game again, just to make sure.
We wanted to talk about ourselves.
Yeah.
Very self-indulgent. But we are back into the game. And, well, a full buy-in as well. The perfect time to get back in, I would say.
Here we go. Citizen once again with Yorp, Keto with the secondary. Crucial with his as well. Full buy for both teams. Missing some utility on Citizen, but he might have already thrown something out there. Or maybe just decided he didn't need it. Let's wait and see. Money low on Mighty Max, Crucial, and Thomas. This is going to be an important round for Endpoint to get in the bag and Surreal start things off. Santaris has to play this perfectly. He will add the shot onto Surreal. The trades with a lot of HP. Potentially would love for Centaurus to get that AWP over now, but he is more of a rifle player.
His headshots are like an AWP anyway. It's not so much of a problem. Oh, they are going to make Bogdan's Law has come into play.
Yeah, there we go. Centaurus on the AWP. We don't get that side a lot, so let's enjoy it for now.
Hopefully we'll enjoy it. If he just gets wrecked, maybe not. But he is on the other side of the map to where at least the nades are being thrown in. But this is an elaborate ruse trying to pull the defense. It hasn't quite worked, though. As we're still pretty much in a 2-for-2 split, they will be able to maybe get a little bit more control into middle.
Yeah, they need to focus on Robin right now.
They got no nades. This is the bigger problem. There's one flashbang left and then 2 HEs on the other side. This is just going to come down to raw angels. And I don't like those odds for Endpoint as they go pushing into the site. It's already Keto just holding the cross, the rifle in hand, just spraying them down. And Crucial tries to flee, but he's not given the chance. 12-10, big convert, an important round, as you mentioned previously, as money now becomes an issue once again for the UK side.
Yeah, Centaurus with the 3K, 2 of them with the AWP. Something we see a lot, but this one worked out for him. Also getting the assist on another one of those kills, so definitely a big damage round for Centaurus. On the T side, we do see, as suspected, save here. We'll be buying up in the next one. A big, potentially allowed on 13 now. Scary times if Endpoint wanted a straight 2-0.
Yeah, it would have been, as I said, a massive statement, but they're not out of this just yet. We've seen a solid T side from them so far with a few blips on the radar in the last couple of rounds. They're going to try and put the pressure on this A site. Obviously, this is the site where you're much more likely to get a bomb plant, and although they will have enough money anyway, they can try and bolster it. That's a nice tag, and in fact, the Glock going to be there, but of course, they don't have any utility, so this battle versus Searson is going to become nigh on impossible. And although Crucial, I'm sure, would love an extra pistol or a slight upgrade, he does just have to fall back. He can't take that fight.
It's going to be on Searson with the AWP, which is probably the player you would want to face mostly if you just have a couple of pistols, because you can technically overwhelm him just by numbers. And he's actually rotating down towards the middle, which leaves the A side open for now, which is a free plant. That's one thing. Can they hold this site when they get the bomb down? Probably not, but let's wait and see. Scout on Crucial. Or, excuse me, Scout on Surreal, that is. A deep nade. And frags are coming in. This is just going to be the round for Endpoint. I can say that. Robin comes in with a frag, and not the round for Endpoint. It's going to be the round for Big, of course, as suspected.
Looking to try and find the extra weaponry, the AWP to be retrieved eventually, I'd assume. Yeah, there we go. And the second being left as well. So they'll keep the most important weaponry available to them. But the fact is that that's still not a bad round for Endpoint. They've kept them honest. They've at least forced them to buy 3 guns, which, although maybe not the priciest, will still put a dent in the economy. And it gives them more of a chance, if they do win this next one, to break back.
Yeah. And once again, like, this is a must-win round for Endpoint. I feel like if Big get on 14 and deny the economy on the CT side, plus keep the economy rolling for themselves, making sure that they can buy the rest of the game, then it's almost done. So this is a very important one once more for this map. And Keto has pushed aggressively. He's seen so many rounds in a row that the B side has been left, but this time around Thomas is waiting towards the lower tunnels. And he's not spotted yet, but Keto, nice little millimeter flick there onto the face of Thomas.
Not a man you want to be losing. As said, he's been having a reasonable comeback in this second half, alongside the likes of Surreal, who's been having an incredible performance. This is more back to what we saw, the default, though. Now they have the man advantage. It's tough to break this sort of setup down without some decent set nades. And I like the fact that they've now thrown Tabson into Goose. That's going to make things really tough for any sort of take, because you clear the site, you push back this, and okay, you've done the hard bit, right? Nope. There's still a second player waiting behind, and they're throwing out counter utility just to try and deny them. The slight gap clearly made by design to give them a little bit of a look towards the car, but it's a much more passive angle. And with only 25 seconds left, they have to try and get this bomb towards the site, maybe not realizing the Tabson's going to be here, and they're just getting crushed. Surreal will at least find one. Crucial's found another up close, and Surreal gets one more. The fact is, though, he doesn't have enough time. 10 seconds Crucial needed to survive and get that plant, and unfortunately that means for Big, it's another round.
14-10, Big on the brink of getting us into a third map to start this EU part of the tournament off. Of course, we have the 3 regions where the Oceanic region has already started yesterday with some great games over there as well. And then we have NA also coming in. So a lot of CS coming at you these next couple of days over here at DreamHack. Double up setup now once more for Keto and Searson. Endpoint on the opposite end of the scale. Couple of weapons, Surreal on a deep, missing utility on others. Tough times.
Yeah, Thomas trying to find some sort of opener towards the B side. He's been playing more of a lurk role over the last few rounds, and I'd much rather see him go back into somewhat of an entry position. But I guess if you got Crucial just working it with the AWP. The worry for me, though, is they've struggled to break into the B site over the last few rounds, and they like to slow things down, which I appreciate, but at the same time, I feel like they give too much of an opportunity for Big to find a way back into this round, gain information, gain positioning, and that's what they're doing right now. They've seen a few nades, they've spotted there's no one in mid, so they've taken back some more map control. And now there's even an aggressive position for Searson, but he has to try and pull back. He has to try and escape, and he's not going to be able to. There is Thomas on the entry. Exactly what I wanted to see.
Wait.
I'm not sure what's happened to Surreal.
Crashed, surely.
Maybe. Either that or he's playing the most powerful anti-flash I've ever seen. he's anti-flashing from 5 seconds ago. That's how strong that is. But nonetheless,
maybe he was lining up
much of it. Yeah, it shouldn't make much of a difference as well. even though there's a few low players, it doesn't look like the guys at big are going for this.
All right. Endpoint with another one, not backing down without a fight. So it will be 11 on the board for the 3 Brits, Swede, and Dutchman. Interesting.
The UK team, you know, the UK team. That's all you need to say. It's the UK team.
It's well, I can't really say European team anymore, can I?
No. Yeah.
Well, it depends.
Technically, you can.
If you do. We have,
Okay, so he did.
Yeah, he
time
did
on it.
crash.
He wasn't just lining up the longest smoke of all time. Pixel perfect. It was a crash, but they managed to get it over the line, and that's more what I wanted to see from Thomas. I mentioned it in the round that I liked the way he was entry fragging, very aggressive and clinical, and in this round he just walked into that A site. I said that I was a little bit worried with how much they were giving to big with the space they were able to take back, so they knew that this push was coming. He just headshots both of them walking into the site.
And once again, the lovely crowd, virtual crowd from Twitch chat.
So how does this work? Do I type in the chat and then it takes my name and puts it on the crowd?
I would expect it's just like random viewers. So
So if I go type in the chat,
as long as you are in the Twitch chat, you get a chance.
I feel like I'm going to be a little bit behind them.
Yeah, I think maybe
we'll try it anyway.
But hello to all of you guys. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. If you are in the European region, hopefully enjoying the stream maybe on a mobile or tablet outside, or maybe just in your room, maybe just gaming away, as we have been all the rest of us during this last couple of months. I've never played.
I want to see if my name pops up
in the last couple of years, Tom. in this break.
I'll go back. I need to see if my name pops up. I want to be in the crowd.
This guy here. This is the guy.
That where my name's gonna pop up.
Look at those moves. Yeah, exactly. It's just like watching Tom at an after party. This one, just like he's a little bit, he's a little bit short.
A few of a certain type of drink, sure. That I could. Obviously, I'm talking about orange juice for anybody wondering. But yeah, give me a few orange juices, and I am.
You're doing.
I am that guy. I'm that guy. Yeah. Although I will say, there's a few people that. When it comes to the dance floor, do it slightly better than I do. I think Mr. Connor Irvin, who will be coming up later today, if you are in the chat, make sure to ask him about his dance moves, because he can definitely drop some moves. Also Jackie as well. If you've ever seen Jackie on the dance floor, that man, it's like a snake. Like, it doesn't make sense. He doesn't seem to have any bones in his body the way he moves.
He is a lanky one.
It's magical. And yeah,
almost as good as this chicken dance we're watching right now, obviously. Almost.
But yeah, unfortunately for Endpoint, I feel like this might take the wind out of their sails a little bit. Like, you've just won a round where basically you've run into the site, you've won the duels, and Big have basically been left with egg on their face, and now you've had to sit here for a few minutes because one of your players has timed out. Of course, that happens. This is online Counter-Strike. Everybody has their own internet connections, of course, unless they're in a team house. So you never know. Maybe it'll happen to me and Risk, and you guys won't have to listen to us waffle on as much. I'm sure there'll be a few guys cheering in the chat for that.
But it sounds like we're back, Tom. The chicken has come home to roost. I'm not sure what this is, but this is amazing. We're almost ready to go with the game. And here we go, back to Dust2.
I love the idea that it is someone's job at DreamHack to make that.
But that is very DreamHack. That is very DreamHack, though. I'm not surprised at all.
Someone was employed to make a chicken running towards a guy doing it.
That's actually the job I want. Like, casting is fine, but animating chickens, that is the dream.
Oh, this is aggressive. Of course, there's only a couple of weapons here, so crucial. Well, it's not chicken hunting, it's duck hunting. If they go pushing towards the top of the site, it's got to be a little bit careful. Of course, we spoke about the value of stealing away an AWP in an eco round. But I like this. They've almost shuffled them into the weaponry, and now the push starts coming from behind. Robin is aware of it. Thomas picks off another, and that's actually a really nice hold from Endpoint. Yeah, like, that could have easily gone wrong.
They just park the bus, really, just in the middle of the map, making sure that they have angles where they'll have the absolute advantage with the weaponry that they have in their possession. So very nicely done. Nice analytical overview of the round, making sure that they make the right choice. And now, money-wise, this is interesting because this is not going to be a buy from the CT side. They want to get that double up full utility going. So this is going to be pistols, scout, armor, a few smokes and flashes. So Endpoint are going to be allowed, I think, onto 13 unless something magical happens from Big.
Yeah, after the last map, I don't really want to bet against that.
Oh, no.
Especially don't want to jinx. Turn around, Robin. Eyes in the back of the head. No, it's gone wrong. That's an AK. Now, we talk about how weak this buyer was. Now it's just changed. And well, it always seems to be Keto, right? It's him and Zontares in these sort of rounds that just manage a little bit of magic.
They're waiting now. They're waiting for push to come through the first smoke, but now they're going to get the frag onto the site. Santaris tries his luck, but won't get too lucky. Yeah, some damage done, and now Keto. Oh, look at this in the back. They're watching. One player was watching before, but this might be the perfect timing for Keto. No one's watching, and as I say that, the orb turns around. Tissian gets one. In the back comes Keto, and he finds Crucial.
The problem is, again, he steps up big and around that really shouldn't be. And Sisson's even going to end it with the scout. It's the classic at the moment from Big. Something that they managed to do so often in the last map after not having the best performance. It's these anti-eco rounds, these pistol rounds that they managed to pull through. And it's Keto at the helm once again. 3 kills off the back of a Deagle and an AK that he picked up.
What a play. What a play once again from the German. 15 to 12. Looks very likely that we're going to go to a third map, which is Mirage, as you can see in the top right of your screens. One more round for Big, and we are going there. Surreal has done a good job, I would say. 22 to 15 on his side for this one. Very nicely done by him.
Oh, there's still at least a buy.
Oh, okay. Surely.
Ooh, okay.
Surely not. I was about to say, that won't be allowed.
A little bit over-aggressive from Searson.
Yeah, okay.
They're just going to rush it.
Yeah. He's in on the bomb side, but surely he'll be traded. Doesn't even matter if he gets the first one. Second one will come from Robin as he's completely flashed. But they get entry onto the bomb side, and it's a straight save. It's going to be 13 for Endpoint. And also look at the money. With these 2 weapons saved, yes, they'll get a buy in the next one, but it's tough times right now, economy-wise, for the Big clan. This might go all the way.
Well, especially because they've been running a double AWP setup.
Yeah.
That's what makes this so costly, is normally you'd look at this and you go, okay, well, Searson can drop 2, Keto drops the AWP over, it's not a problem. But if he wants to run an AWP, that's a big bulk of that bank that was saved, gone. Now, I do believe they'll have a little bit more loss bonus than just the minimum because of how the rounds have actually been going. Nice shot from Keto as well. Of course, for the T side, economy not really much of an issue at that point. If they're losing the rounds, they're out of the map anyway. They win. They're still making enough money to continuously rebuy.
So it could definitely be a drop here. Citizen's going to throw one over and going to get the AWP as well. So this is not a bad time. They're lacking.
It's only 1 AWP though.
Yeah, a slight bit of utility and then only having 1 AWP, but it's definitely not a bad buy. But it is also the chance for Endpoint to get on 14 and then look at the money if that comes to the situation. So little money left in a potential round number 30 if that happens. And Crucial has started us off with the first frag. Surreal. He knows that there's been 1 guy spotted out in mid and the second one is rotating in. Keto has to kind of put a patch on this. In the corner. He's getting shot out. Surreal double entry into mid and B. And they're just going to save their weapons, Tom. They're just going to save these weapons because they know how little money is left in this potential round number 30. It's going to go all the way.
Yeah, and we're just seeing that was just off individual brilliance. Like, the start of the round was crucial, finding the picks, and then Surreal went in gun-hole on his own and managed to win them another round. 15-14. Of course, we saw the last one go the distance with a 16-13 victory for Endpoint. Creeping it through actually with, I think it was like a Glock and a few pistols along the way. So it definitely is workable in the next round. They want to try and get rid of this AWP. They know that it's down here, of course. This may just seem like throwing weaponry away, just running into the gauntlet that is Searson, who has had a great performance. They've been a little bit quieter, but yes, as you said, it is meaningless. And those 2 kills are so valuable. Sure, you're probably going to have to come up against the scout of Searson, but you've taken away the guns.
For sure, like it's a low risk, high reward play right now. I would almost say like minimum risk, almost no risk at all, and still a high reward if they get both of these weapons. So very nicely done. Timeout being called by Endpoint, just gonna get like their nerves calmed a bit. This is a potential round that could take them into OT. They need to be absolutely focused right now. Double scout setup, as you mentioned. Searson's on it, but still, this is a big advantage round-wise, money-wise for Endpoint. So they are poised to take this to OT, but as we saw in the last map, anything can happen, and just because I say it doesn't make it true.
Well, that's the thing. I always, in these sort of rounds, I always get the funny feeling that it's all going to go wrong. Yeah. Especially, that might just be me, the cynical England fan of watching years of heartbreak of football, just waiting for the 1 year where it finally goes right to then lose to a team that you probably should have beaten. That's the classic England thing to do. I'm hoping that maybe adding in Swede and the man from the Netherlands might change that a little bit. Sontaris, though, alongside Tabs, and look how aggressive they're being. It does seem like Robin is waiting, though. But is he going to be prepared for the push into middle? This duel is everything, and that's such a clinical first shot. However, the gun
crucial
should be returned. Oh, this is awkward, but Mighty Max hits the shot. That's all that matters. They found the 2 opening kills, and now Searson, Tizian, and Keto are left to try and win this out in regulation. Crucial hits the shot while blind, and now there's only 2 remaining, 1 per site. They may even have heard Keto around middle, so they're just going to put the pressure onto Searson. This is the man that you want in these scenarios, but he's just not connecting his shots. An uncharacteristic miss or 2, and Keto has everything to do, but he's got a free AWP at least.
It's going to be OT. Let's go, Tom. Let's go. This is what we wanted. First game of the new season in EU. Second map OT. First map very close. And we are back into the fray quickly once again. Endpoint with everything to win here. And it looks like the round has to be paused a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe they don't care. Let's wait and see. Yeah, surely this is going to be a remake. There was some slight AFKing in the beginning of the round. No damage done. But then again, they might just continue playing. All right, there we go. No worries then. It's up to the players in this situation, I think, anyways.
Yeah, a bit of a false start, but I guess it didn't really...
Yeah, it didn't really matter because nothing really happened. No damage was done. Like, they didn't have any front spawns that they wanted to use anyway, it looked like. So, I think it's fine. We continue with pressure on for both teams now. Endpoint on the T side, where they should be able to at least get 2 rounds on the board, I feel like. Searson with the orb watching. Flashbang timing doesn't really matter. There was actually a Molotov come in as well. So, and now Keto can watch the other angle with the orb.
Well, this is where we saw the few rounds that came up for Big. It was off this double orb setup. Thomas trying to be cheeky around the B side. It's a bit messy, but he gets away with it. And he's going to find the second kill as well. Those openers into B are something of a rarity. You don't get away with that too often. Of course, there's no saving anymore, Risk. This is a 16k MR3 overtime. You have unlimited cash. You can buy as much as you like. And that means we're going to see the attempt at least.
3v3 post-plant B bomb side is definitely always hard to retake, but it is not impossible when you have players, Taps and Searson and Tizian available. Anything can happen, but for now, it's Robin getting that first one going. Smoked out, but he'll step right in front of it. And Robin will get himself a 3-piece. Nicely triple. And that's going to be the first round on the board here in OT for Endpoint.
That's the thing. I feel like Robin, the same as the last map, it was when Endpoint needed him the most. He came alive in the match and actually ended up finishing right near the top of the board. And it's happening once again. There's some impact frags. But the other thing as well is I don't think there's been a bad performer on Endpoint, especially on this T side. We've seen a huge comeback for them. Surreal even having a little bit of fun knowing they have the spare cash. And well, it's going to be the tag onto Searson. The nade even going to whittle him away a little bit more down to just 10 HP. A complete change up in the setup we've seen from them. No double AWP even this time. So Keto actually moving away from the weapon he's used for the majority of this second half and will be the secondary man in the middle.
Surreal now. Definitely not on 233 ADR. That's just for the first round of OT, but has had a great game here on Dust2 anyways, and will get that kill as well. Keto was already mid-spray, it felt like. But Surreal did get the frag in the end. Flash towards short, will clear the corner. Watching that angle now. No Molotov needed for now. They will save those for Tabson's position. The double Molotov spam potentially. But the first counter comes here. Nade is good as well. But that will only hold them off for a few more seconds. There's still the potential of a big Molotov execute towards this A side right now. They have no control over long though, so that's the problem. That might give the idea of a B split being better, but now they're faking out the B split, getting ready to go for the A play. Taps in here. Will be the guard.
Oh, the flash actually, I think, left Crucial at least a little bit blind, and Tabson just opts to take this into his own hands, already destroying his opponents and leaving just Robin standing. Now, he does at least have an opportunity to get the bomb plant with only seconds to spare. There is an HP, however, and an incendiary. I don't think there's any way he survives this, and eventually Zontaras is there to close him out. So,
the good nade.
Back to level pegging again, 16-16.
And I feel like when you have these two teams in an OT, definitely the T side is where you want to get 2 of those rounds. Like, if you don't get 2 rounds on the T side, it's going to be very hard to get it all done on CT to close it out. Maybe you can fight back for a second OT, but I feel like Endpoint, they need this last round of the first half. Once again, auto sniper sport. Plenty of money, no problem. Oh no, Surreal. He steps just in front of him, but it doesn't matter. Look at that. That's a trade. Even though damage comes onto Surreal, that's a trade they'll make any day of the week. And now Thomas entering into B.
Love it.
This is the play. Mighty Max holding off here as well. Might get a couple of free frags. They're going to get the 2 rounds, Tom. Timing.
Okay, well, Spearson will at least get 1. Tabson's going to have the lion's share of the work to do. Surreal is just holding in middle. That's such a dirty angle. I feel like I need a shower after that one. Tabson.
After this round, I felt like I need a shower because it's such a minimal play. It's basically just 2 players by auto snipers, spam through. If you get that first kill, the B player is already rushing in. If you get that kill, it's going to be a 1v1 where he has the momentum advantage almost. And then you have the B side open basically because Zontaras feels like now that he's the only one guarding it, he has to make sure that he's up there in their faces, and Thomas is just quick. Endpoint now on CT. And Big not buying into all that auto sniper nonsense. They're playing normal Counter-Strike, structured Counter-Strike, and that doesn't include an auto sniper.
I'm going to be honest, I like it. I know that will annoy a lot of people, just like I annoyed you with my comment about Source, but I don't care. It's overtime, it's fun, and I like it. Now, you have to bear in mind, both teams won the majority of their rounds on the T side. It was a 10-5 half either way. So we're going to have to see a change. Of course, economy now, not so much of a burden. Or not a burden.
Oh, no.
Here comes a fast push, though. This is a problem, but Mighty Max actually manages to hold the line. And in fact, he's kept his teammate alive. Crucial will be able to peek out. Max has gone huge in this round, looking to try and help close it out. But there are trades back. And if there's anybody you'd want in these sort of positions, it is going to be Zontaras.
Have no fear, Zontaras is here.
Got the bomb. Doesn't even have to dedicate himself to the B site. You can see the CTs have rotated in. He's looking to try and find an individual duel.
They are so afraid. They are so afraid of him just hiding behind a corner and waiting for them to go into the bomb site. You can see that both faced for the first 20 seconds, and only now they're starting to look towards the middle, which is the correct timing. Zontaras, yeah, if you can get this one, it's around.
Just waiting on the jump up there.
That's just such a nice read from Thomas. He waits there for 20 seconds and then realizes, okay, if he's been like shifting away in those B holes, he's going to be towards lower now. I have to make sure that he doesn't cross over the big box towards short. Perfectly timed. Very well done by Thomas. Endpoint 1 round away from a huge upset.
Here we go. map and series point to Endpoint. Not something I would have thought to say at the beginning of the day, but
No.
I'm very glad to be saying it. Let's see if they can get it over the line, because it's very easy to get to this point. Well, maybe not, but it's easier. These last 2 rounds are going to be an uphill battle. We do see long control fought for. The men in the middle, form of Searson and Zontaris. Now, Searson has had a bit of a slowdown. His first half was phenomenal. He was the main reason they managed to take the first half at all. But he has gone missing a bit, and Thomas almost gets 2 for his money. That's just 10 HP left for Keto. A good fight from him. Crucial going to be holding on to long. He's got to be careful. He's being pressured elsewhere. He gets aggressive, and the fallback's not going to be possible. They're both left blind, and he just has to try and retreat. Hold on to the cross instead. That's where the bomb's coming from. There's so much utility being expended. They're going to try, it seems, and jump across, but never mind. They realize they've got an extra smoke, and that risk isn't worth taking.
Oh, this is a big angle for Zontaris right now. Good position from him. If there is no flash to get around the corner, if they just peek it dry, then... Oh, wow. They're going to have a bad time. Zontaris almost taking this one on his own. And Crucial with the orb. It's going to be 17 rounds for Big.
I'm actually surprised they're even saving. Like,
yeah.
What's the point?
Maybe just don't want to. They don't want to give the like
stats.
Yeah, not the stats, but kind of like the momentum, the feel of okay, we won that round so very nicely. We took all the frags, all the momentum, all the self-confidence. Just denying them that, because you're totally right. It doesn't matter with the money. Like, there's so much cash floating around for both teams. Still after buying, and everyone has their full setup. There's like 5.
Keto is
okay.
breaking the rules. It seems. He's got himself an auto sniper as well, and it's actually Surreal who's going to get tagged down to just 14 HP.
But Crucial, fully flashed, gets the deny and the entry onto Zontaris. He got flashed out along, and then
that's a timing
Crucial
shot,
did landed the frag. Yeah, it's the timing shot, because you can definitely get that angle scoped in, and then you just get the flashbang, and you wait like half a second, and then you fire. That's usually the timing.
Oh, 1 minute 20 for Big to keep themselves in this match. Of course, if they wouldn't be out, don't worry. It's not that much of a brutal setup, but it would be one hell of a start to this tournament. And as said, like, this is the match where you look at Endpoint and go, okay, this was almost the freebie, the top seed versus lowest seed. They're struggling at this point.
Interesting little denial there with the nade in mid, because they threw down the lamp smoke towards CT spawn to kind of fake out an A play, or maybe a drop down towards CT, and then they tried B, but now it's going to be the short play, and Crucial is here once more, again in the perfect orb angle, but Searson is quicker.
Yeah, an important kill. Get rid of him, and now you can try and move into this. He's made it to the 30 bomb, but might need to go a little bit further. Tabson looking to try and maybe re-aggress round behind the remaining members. Peek out from Searson, though. It's another for him. He's looking to keep this going. And Tabson, this is the perfect timing. The first one goes B, doesn't even take the risk. They are going to be taking us to double overtime. It was 2 map and series points for Endpoint, but Big will cling to life.
What a play. What a round from Big. Searson holding his own, and then Tabson coming into the back lines of the enemy. And we stay where we are. It's a front spawn for Searson towards that B side. Zontaris in the back with that secondary entry and the bomb on Keto. If they get this opening, oh, Searson has an orb. He's not going to go for it. Could have been cool to see him just run in with the orb and trying to get the opening. But he'll play the sensible game. He'll make the smart decision.
Oh, we've seen both teams struggle a fair bit more with their defensive rounds, even with the opener in the last. It's something worth mentioning that Crucial managed to start that one off, and it took some heroics from Searson once again. This man has built a pretty big name for himself. 32 kills now in this game, but also what we've seen over the last few months has been phenomenal.
Oh, for sure. He's actually yeah, he's actually made his way into the top 5, top 10 player stat lines during the last couple of months. So he's definitely one to argue to be the breakout player in the top level of CS this year. I don't think there's actually any argument for anyone better for that title.
Not the time ticking. It's looking like the A site is where they opt to go once again. Now there's a surprise, a snake in the grass in the form of Robin. Now if they have a deep Molotov, this position can be compromised quite easily, but looks like they're just going to try and make the push in. Tizian and Searson still holding them in hands. He's got everything to do. Keto looking like he's going to check it, and the instant kill. 15 seconds left, but I don't think it's going to matter. An after plant position will come in for Endpoint. And Big just looking to hold on, and I don't see a way back into this round. It's going to be difficult. The retakes haven't been ideal so far for the UK side. And it just seems like once Big get in these positions, it's tough for them to lose.
There we go. Robin and Thomas in unison get the first one, and Thomas continuing on, but this is such a tough task for him and Centaurus with one. There's absolutely no way Searson with the AWP. And one thing I have to really give props on in this one for Big is how they use their flashbangs. Getting onto that A bomb site, they had 2 flashbangs very specifically, once again, for that AWP position where you know if that AWP is not flashed out in the middle towards the car area, you can get absolutely decimated when you're trying to cross from short onto that Gandalf area. So they had the 2 flashbangs. They had everything set up as they needed. Molotovs, smokes, and the 2 flashbangs absolutely decimated that bomb site.
Does Surreal's ADR just not reset ever?
Yeah, I don't think so.
By the end, it'll just be like, he's on 9,000.
Yeah, I think unless something is really wrong here, this should be the ADR for the OT. So, I don't know. Maybe
I don't think it can be, though, because Thomas got the majority of the kills in the last round, and this is the first round of OT.
It's only Surreal who hasn't been reset.
Yeah, I think I think he's just bugged.
Well, it makes sense because he crashed a couple of times, so maybe it's from the crash time.
That's true, that's true.
So he's just been insane since he crashed.
Oh, we've got this auto sniper. Keto not happy that he hasn't got a kill, and in fact has taken more damage than his opponent, so he's just continuing to spam. Surreal actually waiting for the peek here, and Searson's there instead. I think Keto's going, wait, there was a frag here? There was someone peeked? What? Ah, missed it. Missed it by a few seconds. Still looking back.
Robin's still here, though. So the mid is being held. 1 player on the B side only. And then 1 towards long, 1 towards A side.
Oh, no. Oh, dear. Thomas just trying to escape. I don't even think the Molotov would have reached him. It missed slightly, but I can understand his reasoning for trying to push away. He's actually going to re-aggress. There's 2 players here. Maybe if they line up, there's a chance, and they do. He is still only going to get 1, but he's done a hell of a lot of damage. He's given his team a good opportunity, and we've spoken about how integral these single rounds can be on the CT side. Nice shot from Crucial. He is tagged in the meantime, and Tizian
Robin
is there to get the trade. Molotov, nade flying through.
But he's not giving his position away. He's just standing there in the smoke listening. But what is that from Tizian? We didn't see it, but straight shot through the smoke. No worries. Big clan on 20 rounds. See, that's the second one. Okay, fair enough. It is a very common spot still, but that's next level.
I guess because he didn't see anybody on the site, he just assumed, okay, there's only really 1 spot that he can be hiding in. Searson now up to 35 kills. We've seen Thomas hit his 30 bomb as well. As I said, he had a very, very slow start to this game, but an incredible comeback throughout the T side. And I wouldn't be overly surprised if Endpoint can get 1 round on this CT side if they were able to bring it back. The problem is, I think they at least need to get 1. And even in this round, we're seeing a bit of a diminished purchase. Like, sure, it's only a FAMAS, but like, who knows how much of an impact that could have in the future of the round. We're going to see long aggression taken by the defense in the early stages. And while the bomb and the majority of their players are heading into B, this is a much faster play from Big.
Could this be a 3-0 for Big in this first half of OT? Definitely possible. They haven't aggressed so far. They've just put down a couple of flashbangs. There goes the smoke towards B, the first sign. counter nades and counter smoke towards mid at the same time for the CT. So looking like a standard 3-2 split now, with more focus towards the tunnels. 1 minute still remaining. They're actually trying to bait out the utility right now from the CT side, and it's working. Crucial with the AWP. Has the angle now. And just has to hold this. He actually goes in, and that's going to be his death. Robin just shoulder peeking, but... Oh, that's nice movement just to get away. What are the T-side going to do now? Because it's going to be a long time before they can get into the one side. Are they going to check this? Yes!
What?
The real just getting decapitated. Robin, all on his lonesome, has to clutch a 1v4. Actually, it's going to be an air 1v4 ace. If he can get this one to go, but it's definitely going to be a big chance for Big to get this 3-0.
Well, this would definitely be the clutch of the tournament so far, but that's not the biggest claim in the world, considering we are in the first series of the whole tournament. Robin has managed to, but even just the utility holding him back should be enough for the denial. And Big are there with the clean sweep. It's taken them a long time. You have to remember, this was 2 match points, 2 series points for Endpoint. This is only a map point for Big. But if they can turn this around and take us to Mirage, well, I wouldn't bet against them at that point. It needs to be now 3 from Endpoint just to stay in the match.
This should be a big map now. Tizian, start things off, and that's what you need. A player who's had some problems in the matchup. Getting things going and Searson through the wall. Already now a 5v3. And unless a miracle happens now, it's going to be 22-18, and we're going to move into Mirage. But miracles can happen. Some would say they are crucial for this game to continue.
Yeah, I would almost say at this point I must be an atheist then, because I am not believing in much.
Oh, here we go,
nice
Tom.
Maybe I was also blind, and now I can see. Who knows? Yeah. You can keep bringing out biblical references if you like, but they need to turn this water into wine as they go pushing in towards mid. They've also got to be wary of that smoke fading behind them. Nice shot from Crucial again, but he's down to just 3 HP. If they can somehow get an opener here onto this B site, maybe they have a chance, but they've got to deal with Keto. The flash goes through, it doesn't connect, and both players will be there to crush the final players. Big will take themselves the second map, but damn risk was it close.
Very, very close indeed, and congratulations to Big. It was hard fought, but they got the win in the end. We're going to go to Mirage.
Yeah, no, a fantastic performance, of course. There's still a long way to go. One final map. We'll be back after what will be hopefully a relatively short break to see if the UK Pride can turn it around once again, or if the Germans will beat us once more.